Hello everyone, welcome back again to Liverpool Report today. We've got the latest updates on our beloved club Liverpool, but before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of Liverpool Report news. Let's get started. Arneslot brushed off complaints from Everton over Diogo Jota's winning goal in the Merseyside derby. And the Dutchman also refused to be drawn on the controversial call that saw James Tarkowski avoid a red card for his X-rated challenge on Alexis Mac Allister. Liverpool are now just 13 points away from a 20th domestic title courtesy of their 1-0 win at Anfield on Wednesday night. A second-half goal from Jota put the game to bed, but there were calls for it to be chalked off as Luis Diaz was stood in an offside position in the build-up to the match's defining moment. Diaz did not interfere with play though, and was back on side by the time he teed up Jota to steer the ball expertly beyond a sea of blue shirts and Jordan Pickford in the Everton goal. David Moyes was not impressed after the match, but Slot insisted that the rules were followed by referee Samuel Barrett, telling Sky Sports, "It's not easy to score against them. Great goal. According to the rules, it was a goal, so no one can complain about that." When he was pushed on Everton's complaints over the goal, Slot added, "There is always question marks, but the good thing is, we've got rules. At least they just showed on TV that it's a clear goal. I would be frustrated if I concede that goal, but then I'm frustrated about the rule and not the execution of the rule. The rule itself is frustrating because I think you always have to help, in my opinion, the offensive team." The other big talking point of the game was Tarkowski's poor tackle on Mac Allister. The incident was checked by VAR official Paul Tierney after the Everton defender was only shown a yellow card initially. Former Premier League official Mike Dean was left in disbelief by the call, and he wasted no time in claiming that the decision was completely wrong. Slot was asked how Mac Allister was after the tackle and replied, "Alexis is okay because he kept on playing. He's used to something because he's from South America. I think everybody has said something about it, so why should I add to it? It's so obvious that it's not necessary for me to comment. I'd prefer to talk about the goal or Curtis Jones's performance or something else." The Premier League have confirmed why Samuel Barrett decided against sending James Tarkowski off after he left Alexis Mac Allister in a heap with a dangerous tackle during the first half of Wednesday night's Merseyside derby. The Everton defender went flying into a tackle on Mac Allister just outside his penalty area. The Liverpool star was left writhing in pain as VAR reviewed the incident to determine whether or not Tarkowski's challenge met the threshold for serious foul play, eventually determining that it did not. A social media post on the Premier League's Match Centre account was then released a few minutes later, explaining Tarkowski had played the ball. The post read, "The referee's call of yellow card for a reckless foul by Tarkowski was checked by the VAR, with contact on the follow-through after Tarkowski had played the ball deemed to be reckless. While Tarkowski's challenge was judged to be reckless by VAR, not everybody agreed with that call." Sky Sports pundit Gary Neville, commentating on the game, branded the tackle horrible, saying it is a horrible tackle. He did not need to follow through like that. Former Premier League official Mike Dean went one further by questioning VAR's failure to overturn the call on Sky Sports News. Dean said he should have gone to the screen and he should be off. "It is a horrible challenge. It is a red card all day." Former Liverpool defender Stephen Warnock also condemned the challenge on BBC Radio 5 Live, saying Tarkowski was out of control. He raged. "This challenge is nasty from James Tarkowski. He wins the ball, but follows through on Alexis Mac Allister. Tarkowski knows exactly what he's doing in that situation. I think it is so dangerous. It is out of control from Tarkowski." Jamie Carragher chimed in at half-time, saying we'll talk about VAR, but the referee, Sam Barrett, he's in a brilliant position, he should give that on the pitch. He has to see that. Has to. It's a shocking tackle, we know it should be a red card. It's not even really up for debate. The referee should get it. Harvey Elliott will have much to ponder when he turns 22 on Friday. He must have hoped for way more than just the 4 starts he has made this season for Liverpool, and he has been one of the biggest losers under Arne Slot. Elliott has still weighed in with 4 goals and 2 assists, despite his bit-part role, and his late winner at Paris Saint-Germain will live long in the memory. Jurgen Klopp admitted near the end of his Liverpool reign that one regret he had was that he didn't use Elliott more last season. The playmaker still made 27 starts under Klopp and contributed 3 goals and 10 assists to show his value to the team. He was a proper wonder kid, becoming Fulham's youngest player when he made his debut, aged 15 years and 174 days, in the League Cup in 2018. He made his debut for his beloved Liverpool the following year at 16 years and 174, also in the League Cup. Elliott has been unlucky this season and he broke his foot on England under-21 duty at the start of September, which ruled him out of action for 2 months. Instead of being able to challenge Dominic Szoboszlai for the number 10 role, he saw Curtis Jones overtake him and make his full England debut. When Elliott was finally fit, Slot had his team in mind, and his 4 starts under the Dutchman have all been in the Cups. Elliott loves Liverpool, saying, "This is my club, I'm a massive fan." And his aim over the run-in will be to try and convince Slot he deserves more game time. But this summer will be a crucial one for him and his future. Elliott will be entering the final 2 years of his contract, and Liverpool will open talks to avoid a repeat of this season's nightmare scenario when they have been trying to hang on Trent Alexander-Arnold, Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk. Elliott's instincts will be to stay, and he will back himself to force his way into Slot's plans. But he must also contemplate, as unpalatable as it sounds now, could his career develop better somewhere else? Elliott would be a Premier League regular for most other top-flight sides, and the likes of Brighton are watching him closely. They could give him the platform he needs to step up and break into Thomas Tuchel's England squad, especially with the 2026 World Cup at the end of next season. He is not going to do that sitting on the bench at Anfield or playing in Champions League dead rubbers against PSV Eindhoven. Liverpool's desire to keep Elliott could also be tested by a bid, and they could get at least £40 million for an English player of his age and talent. This would greatly help Slot as he rebuilds and strengthens his champions-elect, and Liverpool looks set for a busy summer. All this is in the future, and Elliott has much thinking to do with his career at a fork in the road. The second Merseyside derby of the season is here, just a few months after the first, but the build-up to the match, from a Liverpool perspective at least, has been dominated by transfer talk. The futures of Mohamed Salah, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Virgil van Dijk have been discussed a lot this season, and that isn't likely to change. All 3 will see their current Liverpool contracts expire on June 30th, and none have publicly committed themselves to the club. Of the 3, Van Dijk looks the most likely to stay put, while Alexander-Arnold appears the most likely to leave, with Real Madrid working hard to land him. Salah is in the midst of his best ever season for the Reds, with the Premier League title on the horizon. But his future remains uncertain, with suggestions of a move to Saudi Arabia continuing to linger. Liverpool would be forced to cough up a huge contract to keep their star attacker. So while Liverpool are focused on facing Everton at Anfield on Wednesday night, there are plenty of subplots and storylines to keep an eye on. Here are the latest headlines from Liverpool. Report rumours of Salah moving to Saudi Arabia to earn a huge contract have subsided of late, but the prospect remains very real. The Egyptian forward is out of contract at the end of June, and nothing has been agreed to keep him at the club. He was the subject of a monster £150 million bid from Al Ittihad in the summer of 2023, and clubs from the Middle Eastern country are not ready to back off yet. The Telegraph claim that clubs in Saudi Arabia are confident that Salah remains open to the prospect of making a lucrative move overseas. Salah is said to be prioritising talks with Liverpool for now, but the offer of major cash from Al Hilal isn't to be ruled out entirely. Things are likely to intensify in the coming months, especially once Liverpool have secured the Premier League title. Unlike Salah, Alexander-Arnold's proposed move to Real Madrid is reportedly a done deal, with the right-back set to move to the Spanish capital on a free transfer and sign a 5-year contract when his Liverpool deal expires. However, Wayne Rooney has urged caution, pointing to his own experiences. "I found out myself. Just because there are talks over a transfer does not mean it will happen," Rooney wrote for BBC Sport. "It is well known that some United fans protested outside my house when they thought I was going to leave in 2010, but I'd agreed my new contract by then. Alexander-Arnold has not signed anything with Real yet, and it would not surprise me if, even after all this speculation, he ends up staying at Anfield after all. A lot can happen before a contract is signed, as I know from experience." The Liverpool boss spoke to reporters on Tuesday morning ahead of the Merseyside derby. and had to field a lot of questions about his three biggest stars and their futures at the club. After saying that the priority for Alexander-Arnold was getting back fit, Slot said, "For 8 months it went a bit up and down with talks about him, Virgil or Mo, but we have never been focused on those talks. We have always been focused on what we have to do. And for Virgil and Mo, that is trying to win the Merseyside derby, and for Trent it is trying to be fit as soon as he can. It is a situation that is there for 8 or 9 months now, and I think all these three players have performed so well under these circumstances, so it doesn't affect me at all."